Good evening. Welcome to another riveting edition of Three Dudes Brews, the last call. I'm Buddy there. I'm happy to welcome you. Join us in the boat as we sail down the river beer. It's going to be a wild journey tonight, folks. We really got a good one planned. Joining me, as always, to my right, the sexiest Greek I know, the Greek freak, Kostas Tangaroli. Welcome, dude. How you doing?
Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, dude. Oh,
cheers, everyone.
Cheers, everyone. All right. When I think about drinking good beers, and I think about none other than the doctor himself. Ed Padno, there he is, coming in, going out, coming back in. How you doing, Ed?
I'm doing. I'm glad you're drinking about something.
Yeah, I just beer's been on my mind, Ed, all fucking week, dude, and here we are, and I'm drinking beer.
As you could tell, my first one's already almost gone. So
yeah, it's a good cold beer kind of night.
Hell yeah!
Speaking of good cold beer, tonight's guest, gentlemen, joining us from the closed halls of Proclamation Ale Company, solemn, if you will. Their taproom manager, Nick Boyd. How you doing, Nick? Welcome to the show, dude.
Doing well, guys. Thanks. Thanks for inviting me. How are we?
For joining us.
Doing all right.
Cheers.
Thursday night.
Festive, thirsty Thursday, gentlemen.
Thursday.
Speaking of thirsty and festiveness, Nick, what do you got going on? What are you drinking tonight, dude?
We are drinking one of the last known to man illegal ninja moves from Proclamation and Canned Heat's collaboration with the festive Napoleon Dynamite themed can.
That was a good one.
What kind of beer is that? What goes into that?
That is an American pale ale. It's light. It's a little on the hoppy side. One of the things I like to do as a bartender is relate what I'm drinking to something that's a little more familiar to anybody. And if you've had a Whalers, you're familiar with an American pale ale, and that's kind of what I relate this one to. And it's light, it's smooth, and it's one of my favorites.
Nice, Doctor. What you got going on, dude?
Light and smooth, kind of like me. No, really.
That's tasty.
Okay. Well, yeah. Hey, listen. You know what can I say? So I have what's last in this glass of my Crafted Hope Pilsner that I've been drinking today.
Another sad.
Another one. I know. That's why I had to start off at least with that first and nod to Kyle and crew there. You know.
Yeah,
dude. Cheers. Kostas?
Me, I am drinking
there you go.
Proclamation Ale's Fade to White.
Cheers.
Funnily enough, I also am drinking Proclamation Ale Company's Fade to White. I had 2 left in my fridge last night, guys. I came home from my 3rd double in a row. I was tired. I was broken. I opened the fridge door. I saw these 2 beautiful, cold, beautiful beers in the back of my fridge. I'm like, you know what? What are the odds that Kostas Sangaroli has Proclamation at his house? Pretty damn good. This guy has a ton of beers. Like, I finished them off last night, joyfully, tearfully.
Save one for me.
That I had the opportunity to know great beer like Proclamation, and here I am enjoying it again this evening. So, cheers, gentlemen.
So you finished your Proclamation beers at your house,
and then he's coming over to finish yours.
Beers at my house.
I'm helping you to keep your fridge
empty.
Ample space, Gus.
Hey.
He's clearing out the beers for me so that way I can buy more beer for him. He's a great guy.
That's right.
For me,
so you can continue to support the community. What a nice guy Buddy is.
Right?
I'm telling you.
I try to help everybody out.
Always thinking of everybody else.
Some just drink beer.
Yeah. So, Nick, I got to ask, dude, because, I mean, some people know the story, I'm sure, but what happened?
I mean,
what can you talk about?
I think the easiest answer to that question was the lingering lawsuit from 6 years ago. It was a part owner. He got let go. He sued for his portion, and he got it, and it sunk us. You know, not to say that there weren't other factors like, you know, the economy and people's social and drinking habits completely changing, you know, from COVID. People were buying less beer to take to parties. They were, you know, going out, a couple, and that was the day. So it just, a lot of things changed, and it was harder to keep up. And you know, it was that might be a broad brushstroke to give it. There's obviously a lot more behind the
Details,
scenes.
so we just know.
Yeah, I was there for 1 year out of the brewery's 12-year history. There's there's more to it. Likely things I don't know, but that's probably simply put. And yeah,
It's the
that's
death
it.
of a giant, dude. They didn't just make a whole ton of beers. They did a whole ton of lot for the craft beer community. So
Yeah.
just a major player in the game. So shocked, we were shocked when we first heard. I couldn't believe it. So
Yeah.
very sad,
I
very sad.
we had gotten the news from Lori about a month prior that that was on her radar. If it was up to her, we would have closed probably in the beginning of April and not May.
Mhm.
But there were whispers within her network that somebody may have wanted to take over, and so we held off announcing anything to see if maybe we could stay alive, and it just none of it worked out. So we within that month, while we were internally figuring everything out, everybody was able to find another job. You know, so
That's
luckily the
great.
staff, all the full timers, they found another job, or, my staff out front, this was a second job for them. So everybody was able to move on and find work. So, if there's good news at the end of a
Yeah.
poor ending, everybody's good. We're all working. Actually, there's we're all getting together on Sunday as a way to get together and like see how everybody's doing, just to connect and stay in touch. So um that'll be nice to see everybody again.
Yeah, for sure.
That's cool.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
definitely, like a family there, right? I mean, everybody gets close. You're working day in, day out.
Yeah.
You're hustling, you're bustling, and
Um,
I mean,
So Nick, I got a question for you. How did you get started?
Yeah.
How did you end up working at Prop? What's your background? What's your experience?
my background, I've been in food and beverage for about 20 years almost. Actually, yeah, 21 at this point. I was 15 for my first job when I started working at Wendy's, and I've just evolved into, restaurants and bars, and then eventually Proclamation. I gave them my contact information last April. It was just a throwaway Sunday for me. I was working a morning at my other bar, and I wanted to go home and drink that night, and I wanted to drink Proc IPA. We'd had it on draft at my bar, and I just wanted to drink it at home. So I stopped in, and all I was going to do was pick up a 6-pack, and I was going to go home and I was going to drink with my dog. And then they had Proc Mania going on, the wrestling event that we would do every 6 months. And I thought it was the coolest thing. And so I went up, and I think it was Lori who was behind the counter. I said, "Hey, if you're hiring, like, this is what I've done. This is my resume. Can I leave you my information?" And she was busy because there was a couple hundred people in there. So she wrote it down, and then a couple weeks later, they sent me an email and offered me to come in and interview. And yeah, that's how I got my foot in the door over there. Because of Procmania, just I thought it was fun, and I gave them my information, and they called me. So
So what you're saying is you walked in for a 6-pack and you walked out with a job.
pretty much, yeah. That's
That's pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
that's the best way to put it.
Nice.
Hey, what's going on, James? James is commenting.
Oh, hey.
hey. Okay, guys.
Sorry, getting
So-
overdone, ladies.
If you guys didn't notice, I am pouring myself a polychrome.
Oh,
Which one?
This one
right there?
is. You had to say that one, didn't you? The peach and orange one.
Weiss,
Peach orange,
style
nice.
Yeah,
ale,
peach and orange.
and
I still have a few cranberry blood oranges in my fridge
Ooh.
waiting
Oh,
for me. Yep.
man.
dude,
Oh, you're killing
when
me.
I think about great beers from Prague, mean, so many come to mind, but like penultimate unicorn.
Oh yes.
Oh
Yes.
my god, fantastic, dude, fantastic.
Pieces or pieces.
Pieces or PCs was amazing.
Yeah.
I've got
Derivative.
not a square to spare during the whole COVID thing, which was fantastic and awful at the same time because it was the coronavirus. Alpaca, which we were
Alpaca Magi.
this evening to dip our toes into. So many great directions they went. I tell everybody from the Warwick area, go to Proclamation because they have like 20 beers on tap, and you're gonna find a style that you'll like because they have so much of it. Just an amazing place.
I mean, that's just it. If you couldn't find one, you weren't looking hard enough, you know?
Yeah.
Either that or you just have no taste.
James has a good point because I think it was it Tilted Barn?
What did James say?
People stealing glasses. People.
Oh yeah.
I want to say that I think it was Tilted Barn put something out
today. Yeah, it was today. It was the other day. Yeah.
Either today or yesterday or whatever, because I saw it, and that's exactly what I thought. Because I'm not going to say I personally don't steal glasses because coming from family-owned businesses, I know that somebody paid for this. But
buy a glass if you want. They're usually under $10.
Yeah, you can buy a glass. It's not a big deal. Like, why do you got to steal? This money, this glass was paid for by somebody, and that money came out of somebody's pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So I get it. I think it was Tilted Barn, and they said like 200 glasses.
That's crazy.
A year or like a month?
Yeah, in like I think it was like a month or
as
two
of
or something
recently.
like that. You
got to figure
that's
insanity. They have that giant barn. It's a large space. They have the large space outdoors. People are outside drinking beer. It's like, I'm just
and they just go right to the car.
Walk right onto my car.
So that brings me to
$10, and I steal $10, and Ed steals $10.
Yeah, exactly. It starts adding up a lot. I mean,
somebody's
it adds up. Yeah, somebody's paycheck, right?
Yeah.
So now, Nick, being the taproom manager over there, what's like the craziest thing you ever saw somebody do or try to walk out with and thought they were going to get away with it?
Well, so we had a lot of unique things on the shelves. I mean, you guys were all in there. I'm pretty sure you saw like the skulls on the merch shelf and whatnot. Well, that weekend, somebody walked out with the skull that had all like the melted crayons on it, and that was very special to Lori.
Right.
None of us saw them walk out with it because we were mobbed the entire weekend.
Oh yeah, it was packed.
You could get away with murder in that line. That's how busy it was. But somebody took the skull and she put out an APB on, like, if anybody has it, please bring it back, and they did. So that story is a happy ending. As far as like the craziest thing I ever saw, I mean,
it's a good one, folks. Tell it.
So, all right, there's no theft involved. There's no humans involved either. Actually, our outside
2 raccoons and a squirrel.
Our outside patio was dog friendly, and one day a guest was out there with their pit bull, and no taboo attached to it. It's just I've had a pit bull. I address them by their breed. I love pit bulls. But this thing was so laser focused on one of our little mini garden like beds, and it had its nose buried in it. And then out of nowhere, one of my guests runs in. She's like, "Nick, you got to grab some gloves. I need you to come out here right now." And she might be asking me to deliver a baby for all I know. I got no idea. So I grab some gloves, I go out there, and there's a baby bunny buried in this flower bed. And the dog is, if not held back on his leash, was going to have itself a snack. So I had to lift it up with the gloves and find a new home for it. And I brought it like to the brush off to the side of the building where, the dog didn't see me put it down, so no object permanence. I had no idea where it was, and inevitably saved this rabbit's life. But like, I'd say that was the most interesting thing that happened to me while I was there, not beer related.
Nick, bunny rescuer.
Yeah, add it to the resume.
One thing I know that you were probably there for. I remember seeing the posts about it. It's a sore subject matter for some people, but I'm just gonna throw it out there because I know there's people who take their children to breweries and they're better behaved than I am, and then there's people who take their children to breweries like Proclamation and they let them run amok and like fucking destroy the place. Thoughts on that, Nick? I'm gonna put you on the spot, dude. I'm sorry.
Listen, I have strong opinions when it comes to this.
Everybody does.
I've been, like I said, I've been doing this a long time. My son's going to be 16 in less than 3 weeks. I'm very familiar with bringing kids out in public. We're a brewery. We have, a lot of arcade games. We have a pinball machine. There was a lot of board games out there at one point. Like there were group activities that you could partake in with children. We were a very welcoming space for kids. I wanted people in there. If you brought your kids and that's how you came out to come see us, I want that. I want families to come out and enjoy it. But I'm also a firm believer that, you are responsible for who you bring into that brewery, whether it's your friends, your kids, your pets, whatever. If you bring them in and they start running amok, you're responsible for it. And and this is not just at the brewery, this is everywhere I go. If I bring my son somewhere and he's hooting and hollering and breaking stuff, I'm getting him the hell out of there. I'm apologizing on his behalf and I am compensating whatever we are responsible for. I've seen kids run around that place, and parents have done nothing about it. Right. We can go up and say, hey, I need you to take control of your situation. That's a universal truth, no matter where you are, whether it's a bar, a brewery, a restaurant. I say bar. I work at a bar that doubles as a restaurant. I gotta differentiate when I say that. Bars are different, but the concept is the same. If you want to bring your kids out in public, do it. Like
corral your kids, folks.
Go out and be a family and have fun and enjoy yourself. The world is meant to be enjoyed, but if you're going to bring anyone anywhere, like do it responsibly. I guess is my take on it. And then I for the most part I've had my dog is far more responsible out in public than most kids I see. I think I think dogs need to be allowed more places. I say that with my sweet boy sitting at my feet right now. So, I kind
of agree with Diana. I go to the breweries so that way I can like escape from like work and from kids and like whatever else. I'm going there to have a good time. But like, if like there's a little kid running like I think it goes towards the parenting and
yes, it does.
There's certain things we don't talk about like money, religion, sex, politics, and drugs, right? Nobody's ever going to agree.
Drugs.
Right?
Wait a minute. Wait. Whoa. Since when do we not talk about drugs on this show?
But you know what I'm saying? But like, so like if you talk about those subjects, you're never going to get everybody to agree on the same thing, right? But like you said, like it's I think it has to go to the parenting and like you should be watching your kids, like your kid, like you just said, like you're bringing your son to the bar or brewery, you're watching him, you're overseeing him. You're not like just expecting your bartenders or beer tenders to be the babysitter while you're sitting there getting shit fixed.
What do you mean little Timmy can't use the bar top as a slip and slide?
Right. Like it's not Nick's job to watch your kid when you're going to the bar or the brewery.
Right.
Like it's not your responsibility to be a babysitter. Like you're not getting paid for that.
Yeah. It's as a bartender or a manager, it's my job to provide a safe and comfortable environment for everybody. And if there are guests who are doing the opposite, I got to step in. And I've had to on occasion where I got to go up to somebody, but like you said, it's not my job to watch somebody's kid. I'll find their parents and I'll go up to them and I'll have something to say. That being said, there was a day last summer. It was a Friday afternoon. It was the middle of summer. There's no school. We got a pinball machine in there, and two kids showed up. on their bikes, and like I didn't watch them walk in the door. And there were a bunch of other parties in there, so like when I eventually caught wind that two kids were playing pinball, I just thought they had come in with a couple of the guests that were already there.
Mm-hmm.
And they played pinball, but they weren't loud, they weren't banging on the machine, they were just playing pinball, and they were laughing, and their volume was respectful, and
Which
they
is
may
awesome.
have gotten up and gotten a cup of water, but they didn't bother anybody. And then at one point, all of the adults in the building that were drinking were gone. They had paid their tabs and left, and here are these two kids still playing, and now I have
Somebody
no
pull a
idea
Punky
who they
Brewster.
belong to.
Dude, that's a
So
great story.
so I went up to them and I said, "Hey, did you guys miss the bus? Like, where are your parents?" And they were like, "Oh, they panicked. They told me they lived in the neighborhood." And then I'm like, "Hey, don't I'm not yelling at you. I'm curious who you're here with." And so they ended up leaving. They got on their bikes and they were gone for like an hour and a half. And then an hour and a half later, they came back, but this time with one of their moms. And she starts apologizing to me. And I'm like, listen, these kids are more well behaved than a lot of them that I've ever seen. I got no problem if they're in
Some
here
of the
and they're not
customers.
called right. If they're gonna be in the establishment and they're not causing a problem, then they're not a problem to me. It's the ones that are causing a problem, then I got to get involved. But if I had not gone up to these kids, they'd have stayed and played pinball, and as far as I know, they would have never made a sound, and they wouldn't have been disrespectful, and I would have had no problem with it. I didn't have a problem with it. They were absolutely fine, But like you said, there are adults who come in there that are far more disruptive. So,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know what that is though? That's like a memory. Like as a kid, like I did stuff like that. That's like a Sandlot, like Goonies type of like.
Yeah, absolutely. Those kids are gonna
Stand
remember,
by
like,
Me, right? Those are like that's like really cool. Like the kids just had like no problem just going in, walking in, playing video games, and they knew to be respectful. So
yeah. Yep. And I'm sure they've been in there before with parents, like, and that's how they knew about it. But they they came in, they left, but like they were just having a fun summer day. It's nice out. They're riding their bikes in the neighborhood. They're going to the local. I mean, we have arcade games. If they could they could just call it the arcade amongst their friends, like, hey, we're gonna go play some games down at the arcade. It's Proclamation, just so happens to be a brewery, but like they had a day to remember, so good for them.
So not like that, not like Deanna reminds us. Not like that that obnoxious asshole Mark Ambrose.
I'm telling you.
And friggin' the guy drinks more beer than I do, and I don't know how he. God bless him. I love Mark. But yeah,
jealous.
Maybe I'm a little jealous. Maybe
someday when you grow up, you want to be like Mark.
I want to be able to travel to multiple breweries in one day and not be bullied or drunk.
He's been tossed out of more breweries and spent grain, I tell you.
Is there?
Mark, if you're listening, cheers, dude. We love you.
Is there I know there's the Rhode Island Brewers Guild passport. Is there a Mark Ambrose bingo card where, like, if you see him at a brewery,
funny you say that,
he checks it off for you? Like, is that a thing that exists?
That's the thing that we created last year. I'm like, Mark, we can do this. You can get selfies with people. So we decided to do it. And I just named the charity, and he's like, the Ronald McDonald House of Providence. So we did it last year. We did it this year. We've raised a total of $600 for the Ronald McDonald House. So people will buy bingo cards.
Doing exactly what you just said.
25 breweries on it from around Rhode Island, Massachusetts. Find Mark through hints on Three Dudes Brews and take selfies with them. And we've had 2 successful bingo winners. Yes.
No shit.
Yeah, buddy.
That's fucking awesome.
It's called, believe it or not, it's called Mark Ambrose Bingo. So
it coincides with the Big Lebruski, so we do it in the month of March. And we drop hints on social media. And all you got to do is just figure out where we're going to be and take a selfie.
You guys were on the Mark Ambrose Bingo 2 years in a row. So just fun fact, dude. And the bingo did hang in your brewery for both those years. So there's that one too. But just pass by. There's a lot of things going on. I understand as a temper manager. But yeah, that is a thing. Mark Ambrose is that kind of a guy. funny that you would mention that. Oh,
I'm in the Crap Brewers page on Facebook, and I see him, he's everywhere. He's at the
Everywhere.
Guild,
Yeah,
he's
he
at
is.
Buttonwoods, and I just he's always taking a selfie. I'm like, that has to be a thing. If it's not already, which it is, it should be.
Yeah. And that's how it started. It's like we were joking around on the Craft Brewers, like we could do it. And then I did a bingo card, and everybody's like, "Oh, that's funny." I'm like, Mark, we could do it. We could do it.
We could make this a thing. Let's run with
and
it.
It's so easily a thing. So it's great. And it helps people to get out to the breweries a little bit more and a little bit more socially engaging,
Yeah. I think one, that's a fun thing to get people they see his pic. They might not be active in the group, but if they want to participate, they see his face, they know what he looks like. You just go up and you start talking. That's a great way to engage people socially. But the thing you had said about raising money for a charity, like buying a bingo card, and raising money, you said 600
split, dude. It's a 50-50 split.
I cannot begin to tell you how much I love hearing that. It's a charitable thing, sure, it's fun for everybody involved, spend the extra money, go out, take selfies, have fun, drink beer, but to donate to a good cause, I'm a huge fan of that. I love that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we do try to give back wherever we can, whatever little we can, and something's always better than nothing.
It wasn't huge. It wasn't a huge amount. Last year was bigger than this year. This year, I feel like the bingo
went fast.
Quickly.
Listen, I
didn't really get the cards, but
you said about what, $600? You said?
Yeah, in 2 years.
All right.
Yeah.
So before I was at Proclamation, I spent 10 and a half years with the 99 restaurant. And for most of that, I was in the Cranston location. And we did fundraisers every single month. We were raising money for somebody because it was our way to give back. And in October, it was Boys and Girls Club month for the entire company. So whatever your closest Boys and Girls Club was, that's who you were raising money for. And for 2 years in a row, I was able to raise a lot of money. And for one of them, it was like $700 at one fundraiser that I held. That kept the lights on at both ones in Warwick for about 4 or 5 months. It makes a difference no matter what the dollar amount is.
That's awesome.
So, $600 is $600, and they're going to find something to do with it. So, it's going to a good cause, and you should be absolutely proud of that.
But buddy, what's the face for, buddy? What happened?
That's wicked hot, dude. It's wicked hot.
Because I just Prox Polychrome orange.
Yeah, this one is tart.
He's going from what were you drinking?
I was drinking a Glacier, the American Pilsner by Phantom Farms, 4.8, which is like friggin'
that's drinking water to buddy. I mean,
beer water.
You got a little shock and awe.
It is good though.
Drinking a light beer to drinking a very sour peach.
But now I'm swimming in waters that I'm familiar with. Tox Brewing Company, Fugu's Revenge.
Yes.
Fugu's Revenge. There is another one
by volume, boys and girls.
Mark's on now.
So there is a regular Fugu out there, and then like you said, you've got Fugu's Revenge. Nice. I'm a big fan of Tox. They're another one. There's some fantastic beers coming out of there.
Listen, Tox Brewing. I can say this because I'm between breweries right now. Tox Brewing is my absolute favorite brewery. I think their beer is outstanding, and their artwork is by far and away the best.
Is
kind of
like
reminded me of
insanity.
Ed.
I follow the guy that does their artwork. I just started following on Instagram recently, and he I forgot what brewery just picked him up to start doing their art, but he's outstanding. I love the underwater themes, the swamp themes, like there's frogs and wizard cloaks
the dark frog
on the beer cans. It's the best artwork ever. So I can't say enough good things about Tox Brewing.
Amazing.
Also, I never announced it, but I did switch my beer. I'm now drinking Capiche, our Italian style Pilsner.
Nice. I've had that. That's delicious.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite beers that I've ever had. It's just so smooth and light. I could drink several and not realize it until I stand up.
Don't judge me, but this is their Oh my God.
What is it?
Oh, come on, focus. This stupid blur thing. Come on. I don't know if you
What
can
is
see
it?
it. No,
We
it's
can't
not.
see it.
Is
Come
it not
on,
working? It's not like
Stop
it.
jerking us
Please,
about.
please shoot
Well,
it
you
up.
know,
Come on,
hold on. I'll turn the
focus,
stupid.
Ed.
I'll turn the stupid fuzzy thing
Focus,
off,
Ed.
I guess, for a second. You
Don't
guys
let
can.
this guy look at your asshole. He's not like that kind of doctor.
Who's trying to do what? What?
He's not a medical doctor.
You might say
No.
that,
Hey,
but
oh.
he's really not.
So I got it because I got to show this. It is Ormegard.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, don't get me wrong. Yes, I still have a pumpkin beer in my
What is
fridge,
it,
but
dude?
it's their pumpkin. It was from Halloween. You know, it's
Pumpkin.
Pumpkin.
harvest ale brewed with
So many
butternut
years
squash
behind.
and spices, and you know, things get shoved to the back of the fridge sometimes,
Oh.
and
Ah,
you know, you start
I
piling in the new
tripped
stuff, you start forgetting what was there.
Yeah.
on my head.
I've got a few pumpkin beers in my fridge that have been there. I want to say since this past fall, but it's
Probably
not. It's
the year before.
Yeah, it's the previous one for sure. So
Oh, hey, listen, it happens. I mean, you know, I start digging through the fridge and I start looking at stuff and I'm like, what? How long has this been back there? You know, I mean, I know Costas and Buddy, their fridges rotate, you know, continuously because of Buddy on both occasions.
Yeah.
But you know,
I have to get a second job just to support Buddy's beer.
Buddy's beer habit. Yeah.
Yeah,
You know, but that's what happens, you know. So I'll end up with stuff
Sure.
downstairs, you know, in my little office corner here, and I've got stuff in a little fridge down here and a beer fridge, and you know, then stuff goes upstairs for when I'm up there, and next thing you know, it's like stuff gets shoved around, and you forgot you even had it.
Yeah, for sure.
And sometimes it works out to our
You go to
favor.
so many damn breweries and you buy beer in every single one. Imagine the space. Imagine the size of this guy's beer fridge. It's pretty. It's probably bigger than the fridge that he has right here in front of us.
Probably.
Oh yeah, I think my refrigerator is like 22 cubic feet, and it's
Your beer fridge.
yeah, it's just my beer fridge.
That's just the beer fridge, folks.
That's fantastic.
But let me tell you, so getting back to Proc for a second, of all the beers they did there while you were there, which one was your absolute favorite?
Oh, it's their Cycle Vision.
Nope.
You got to pick one.
You got to pick one. You got to pick one.
Guy that says,
favorite kid.
You got to.
Yeah, no, I there's no hesitation what my favorite one is. It's the Cycle Vision. We so for Davapalooza last year, we did the illegal ninja moves.
Yes.
With canned heat, but then with civil skateboarding, we did Psychovision Redux, which they had done before, but whatever they did to it this time, it was an IPA with coconut. It was 5%.
God damn it!
The coconut was so smooth on the tail end of the taste. It was a light beer. It wasn't very hoppy. It did everything I want a beer to do. It was perfect. It might actually be my favorite beer that I've ever had, not just from Proclamation, but in general. I drank so much of this beer, and so we're clear, when I went through our hop fridge and I was taking all the quality control beers, I got those too. I have 2 more of those left in my fridge, but they're for
very
like
special occasions.
Like I'm probably the day if I ever get married, if I become a grandfather, if my dog has kids, like I need to really pick my battles with that beer. I can't open it up for anything.
Yeah.
I do the same thing. I have certain things that I've been sitting on, and I'm waiting for like.
Thank you.
For instance, like this year I turned 50, so that's going to be a big deal. So that's going to require lots of barrel aged, like special
old man
aged like you, not like fine wine. Though.
You're done. You're not getting any of it. He's not getting any of the good stuff. You can drink your Miller Lights or whatever. And
I'm going to hold you to that. This way, I actually get to taste something this time.
How about that?
I remember when they were doing that though over there. I didn't get a chance to get over there, but I remember they had all the you know the skateboards going on in the parking lot, and everybody's going to town, and I saw it, and oh man, I love a beer with coconut if it's done right.
Yeah. One of my bartenders, Justin, had told me that Finback makes as far as like that beer in particular, the Psychovision, they make the closest one he's ever had.
Where are they out of?
I can't tell you any of that right
Okay.
now. I put Finn back in the back of my memory so that I could come back to this conversation with him someday when I need my coconut fix, and I'll figure the rest out when I need to. But yeah, Finback makes one. He said it was in like a pink can, and that's all that's coming to me right now. But
Queens, New York, folks. Queens.
there it is, Queens, New York.
So if anybody's going to be down in the Queens area and would love to send us some, please hit us up on the messages, and
Yes, we like beer. We will drink it too.
we will take it off your hands.
End up in the back of Costas's.
Yeah, I don't know. This is my only episode on the schedule right now. I'll be there when Finback shows up. You guys tell me, and I'll drive wherever. Okay.
Oh hell yeah!
Finback's a good brewer. They have a lot of like unique IPAs. I like a few of their selections. They're always readily available in the package stores.
Yeah.
They're a nice, easy drinking beer for sure.
Where? Because I haven't seen it yet, and if I have, I've walked right past it. So where'd you find it? Nikki's?
Nikki's.
They might have it.
Finback was in Douglas Lickens today, dude.
What?
Yeah, Finback.
Yankee?
Any of the
I must be
one,
walking. I got to be walking right past it then.
You must be. It's in like every single liquor store I've been in. They're out of. I think they're Massholes, right?
No, it's out of New York.
Oh, New York. You just said that right. My bad.
Yeah. I'm looking at some cans right now, and I don't recognize any of these things.
Whatever.
So Nick, I got a question for you. I got two things. What are the two what's the positive and negative trends that you see in the craft beer? Maybe not necessarily the community, but the industry right now. Like we're doing some serious real talk because
back to the serious questions at hand.
Yeah, no, please. Yeah, hell yeah. Ask them.
Proclamation has just closed. Crafted Hope just closed. We've lost several different breweries in Rhode Island in the last say 6 months to a year, right? What are the trends that you're seeing as a taproom manager of one of the best, if not the best, brewery in the state of Rhode Island that you see that are like positive and negative trends in the industry?
I mean, I guess this counts.
It's heavy.
Both,
it's a lot. Take your time.
No. So like positive and negative. There are so many options in the state of Rhode Island. And like every brewery that pops up is somebody's dream, so like I cannot sit here and say how much it upsets me that somebody's going out there and doing what they've always wanted to do, which is to make craft beer, good beer for the community. Like that's the best thing ever,
it's a huge
inevitably like I would love to do that myself, but like at the same time as being a taproom manager, somebody trying to make money in the industry, when there are, what are we at, 40 plus options now?
Yeah, probably a little less right now, but give or take.
So like,
say around 40.
We're being in the industry, we were all friends with one another. Like I made friends with every brewery I came into contact with, but we're also competing for the same money too. And so positive and negative, like it's so great to have all these options, but at the same time, it's hard to fight against all these options. And then as the consumer, it's hard to be loyal to a brand and like,
especially when you got such a selection like we do here in the state. I mean, we've got so many different people doing great things.
But buddy, you said earlier, there were 20 different taps on Proclamation's list to go in and get. And then the to-go list was similar but separate as well. Like there were about 20 options there and not everything overlapped. So you could walk into Proclamation and between draft and to-go, you could have like 23 to 24 options just from Proclamation. And then Tilted Barn has their list, Narragansett, Whalers has a bunch of options. Like the whole state as a whole, there are hundreds upon hundreds of options of beer just made in Rhode Island. And so, you know, to sit here and say like, oh, what's my favorite, like what do I have to have in my fridge because it's like that,
Yeah.
you can't pick just one. And so it's hard as a brewery to revolve yourself around this core brand and succeed with it, in that you always have to be moving. You have to be adapting, you have to be unique in some way. And so, you know, I think that is both positive and negative, because one, it makes everybody work harder to be creative and unique. What are we doing that's different? Like you can have any event you want outside, but we're a brewery. Beer is the most important thing that goes on there. What beer do we have that's different from yours that makes us better than you? And so I think that the community itself, being so large with so many options, it forces people, we need to stand out in some way, and what's the next beer we're going to make that's going to do that, you know? Proclamation had some staples to fall back on, you know, like Tendril was never going to go away. That to me is one of the best beers I've ever had, in that it's so consistent every single time. The Psychovision nailed it completely. It was perfect.
Pieces or pieces.
That was awesome.
Another great beer, but then like what was the next one going to be to be different that nobody else has done, you know? And eventually you run into a wall where the creativity is gone, and now you're relying on old fate. It just, you know, there's a lot of moving parts to that question in particular, and it's
For sure.
Well, and, you know, so it ends up being like a double-edged sword.
exactly,
You know?
100%.
We've got so many options. It's going to force everybody, and we've talked about this in the past too. It forces everybody to up their game.
Yeah,
It's gonna weed out the weak, folks. I'm sorry if you are putting out crap beer, not craft beer, crap beer. If you're doing it, yes, Stanos agrees.
Right there.
You know, you're not going to last, especially when we've got a market like we do here, where there are so many, so many good ones. I mean, look at for example, Smug. I love Smug. Loved Smug. Sorry.
well, yeah.
Another fallen giant.
Yeah, they were doing some good stuff. I loved what they were doing. They had some different beers out there than some of the other folks. Their Mahalo. We would wait every damn year for Mahalo to come out, and it was just epic. You know, I had a Polo Loco was another one of my favorites that they did. So they had some things on tap that they were only doing. But look what ends up happening. They still end up, you know, going under. You know, so
you know, guys. I as you guys are talking about this, one brewery comes to mind that really they take their beers, they take their basics, and they expand on them so goddamn much that they change them so. And it makes you wonder how these people are made $1 billion on beer. But Treehouse Brewing, they take their Julius, they take their Haze, they take their Green, they take their Doppelganger, and they manipulate them on so many different variations that you're gonna find Julius, King Julius, King Julius, King Julius. Like there's so many different varieties.
Treehouse, if you guys are not listening, but I mean someday maybe you guys need to hire Buddy as a brand ambassador, because this guy, this is just today's diatribe of, you know, Treehouse. So Buddy to say Buddy's a fan of Treehouse is never going to do it justice.
Well, I know that we're cutting off Nick right here or whatever, but I just had to point out that we're doing Proclamation Ale Company's Slumber, which is a aged imperial stout with vanilla, coffee, and cocoa nibs.
Yes.
This is beer fridge.
There's a bottle of that hiding somewhere in my back room.
Cheers.
I gotta dig that one out soon. maybe this weekend from Memorial Day.
It's so damn good, dude.
So let's talk about that for a second.
I haven't finished my sour yet, but I'm cracking this open because I know this year almost out. So, and we're getting to the wire.
The old nitty gritty here, yeah.
So let's talk about holding on to beers versus, you know, enjoying them. I'm not saying you don't enjoy it if you hold on to it for a special occasion, but then you know, when is it time, regardless of whether or not that occasion came up,
Right?
that you just got to open it and you got to enjoy it. You got to drink it before you're not going to like it anymore, folks. I mean, it's not, especially these local craft beers, they're not going to last in cans forever.
Yeah.
No preservatives.
No, there's no preservatives, but like hops were. I'm no historian or whatever, you know, like, but hops were added to the beers so that way hops could add citrus to it, so that way you would.
So that the beer would last as it traveled to India from England.
Exactly.
Oh,
So
hence the IPA. Thank you.
hops are a natural preservative, if I remember correctly.
That's why we got the IPA.
So we got so I've had some beers that I purchased and I didn't necessarily like them at the very beginning, and I'm like, eh. But then, you know, because everybody's like, oh, you gotta drink beer like fresh. It's gotta come like right out of the teat, right? You gotta like you drink it right out of the fermenter, right? You know, don't even get a chance to like put it in the can. Drink it right out of the fermenter, right?
Right.
But I feel that there are certain beers or certain styles of beers where if you actually let it age out, it tastes better. We've had beers that we've had at the very, like, we've purchased them at the brewery.
What's the one you exampled that recently? You said that recently. It was like, when you first, and then you aged it out, and it was like amazing. What's the example that you had recently?
Recently, I love Sam Adams cherry wheat, right? That was kind of like
fantastic.
Sam Adams
the cherry bomb,
like Newport Storms blueberry wheat, right? Those were beers that like I drank in the 90s that introduced me to craft beer scene, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they just released like their cherry bomb. I got it the day that it came out. I went online, I searched what stores had it, and I went and picked up. It's a 9%. It's a 20-ounce can, 9%. Cherry bomb, cherry wheat beer from Sam Adams, and it tasted like drinking Robitussin cough medicine. It had that medicinal cherry flavor to it.
That very artificial tasting cherry.
So I was, and I had I had like 24 cans of this stuff, and I'm like, this sucks to be me, right? I got 24 cans of a stinker. So I put it in the fridge and I started giving it away. I'm like, here, you got to try this. Here, you got to try this. Here, you got to try. It's a buddy pour, right? Buddy's drunk. Here, give Buddy this. He doesn't.
When he's drunk,
that's what we do.
That's a great idea.
We play, Buddy's feeling all right. So Buddy's not going to know that this sucks. Like
Buddy knows when Buddy's had enough. Go on.
I love the vocabulary term. It's a buddy pour. It's just like as a generic, like, oh, he's drunk. Let him drink the skunk beer. Like, I love that you have that ready to go.
Yeah. We tend to,
Yeah.
Yeah, we tend to do that. But yes, I mean, Costas, it aged out though, right? And you ended up, well, I don't want to say aged out, but it got better.
Like there's certain times where like certain off-putting flavors or scents or whatever will kind of age out. The beer will change over time.
It definitely does change over time.
I've noticed that, like, okay, the Sam Adams cherry bomb, that 9%er that tasted like Robitussin a few months ago, doesn't taste like that anymore. And I've noticed that we're like, okay, maybe letting it sit in the can for a little bit more than just like a day or two, maybe a couple of weeks, couple of months. It actually tastes to me.
It's subtle. Sometimes it's a subtle thing. Sometimes I'll go to like Tilted Barn and I'll buy a 4-pack of Cactus, which is one of my favorite by Tilted Barn, and I'll put it in the back of the fridge, and then there it will sit for a few months, and then I'll pull it out. Not complete difference, but you can notice a subtle change, for better or for worse in the beer. But
that's fine. But I'm talking, so Nick, getting back to it, I wanted to get your take on it. What about that 2-year-old pumpkin ale sitting in the fridge? I mean, when do we draw the line, guys? When do we say, I have to open this up? I've got to have it now, because if I don't, it's going to go to crap. What's
going to happen is I'm gonna open the beer at some point. I don't know when. I mean, it could be right after we hang up this conversation. It might not be for another 6. I might wait till this October to enjoy pumpkin season again with my now 3-year-old pumpkin beer. But the day is going to come when I open it and I'm going to pour it into a glass and I'm going to take a sip. And one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to say, this is still delicious and I'm enjoying it. Or it's going to taste like shit and I'm going to drink it. I'm not going to dump it.
No beer left behind, folks.
I almost said that out loud. I'll finish it, but I will hate every moment of it.
Yeah, you're not going to enjoy that beer. That's for
You
sure.
think about the sober children in Ethiopia. Love to be drinking that right now.
I will finish it, but you know what? I'm still going to be happy that I drank it because it makes room in the fridge for another beer that's fresh. So, as far as the timeline for when to drink these things, they're all different. You know, IPAs, stouts, lagers, they all have different shelf lives on their own, whether they're mass produced by some major corporation or it's from your local craft brewer. There's a shelf life for everything. And that's just what they tell you to do. You can extend it on your own at home. It's totally fine for a little bit. You didn't hear that from me legally. I think I need to say that or whatever. But you know,
that's all right, you're not there anymore.
I've got like a 2-week grace period to not say anything bad about beer. So I think I'm in the clear right now. But you know, as far as like opening a beer that's been in there for too long, if you drink it and it doesn't taste fine, like you waited too long. You don't know until after you open it up, I guess.
Now
you don't know until you know.
On the other side of that coin, I had a fresh beer last week that as soon as I started taking a sip, I'm like, why does this taste metallic? This doesn't taste right. And you know, I took another one and another one, and I didn't want to offend anybody. I didn't want to say nothing. I choked it down.
Yeah.
Right.
But folks out there, please make sure when you're going from the first beer to the next beer and you rinse out the glass with that sanitizer and all that, get it all out of the glass.
Yeah.
Because that's exactly what I was getting. It had to be leftover sanitizer that didn't get out of the glass. And you know, next thing you know, I'm like, and I wanted to enjoy this beer.
So Nick, I got another question for you. Because
what do you got?
I'm a serious kind of guy. Like we this is how we started this whole entire podcast, is our love of beer and the craft beer community. Like you were saying, you know, going to all the 40 different breweries in Rhode Island, you know, and sampling. These are people's hopes and dreams. Like somebody took the leap of faith to open up. You know, people have always asked me, why don't you open up a restaurant? Do you have any idea what that takes and how hard that is? Right? They're like, oh yeah. And I'm like, no, there's a reason why I don't do it anymore. Like, there's a reason my family has stopped doing it because, you know, like, you know, 8 days a week, 16-hour days or whatever, like you fight at home. And then when you get to work, you fight at work. Like it just never stops. Right.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, like, you know, so that's why we created this podcast, because we love the craft beer community and it brings people together, and we love to experience like all of the things that people are doing in the craft beer community. Like somebody's got like you look at some of the different beers that are out there, like people have created some amazing things in the state of Rhode Island. Like let's talk about like Whalers Rise IPA. You want to talk about Gansett. You want to talk about Vigilance PB&J.
How many people winning medals right now?
Yeah, like you want to talk about like, you know, Phantom Farms is winning gold medals.
Tragmar
is winning gold medals. Like awesome. The stuff that's happening in our small little state is absolutely incredible. Like we have so many fantastic breweries, cideries, wineries, distilleries. Everybody's, you know, killing it. They're crushing it. But it's like, you know, you're trying to find that niche that brings people in the door, right? So how do you feel that social media plays in that?
Ooh. Huge.
God.
You know, you can have, because that's how people consume nowadays. You
that's
know, like
advertising these days.
Their content. It's, You don't go to Channel 10 necessarily to watch the news anymore. You go on Facebook to see what they've reshared on the Channel 10 news page. You know, you don't open up the Providence Journal anymore. You'll go on Instagram and see what the front page news would have been. That's what they're posting on the Providence Journal Instagram page. So like when it comes to social media, that's how you're going to reach your customers like 95% of the time. You know, that other 5%, they're going to find out about your brewery or your wine or your cider or whatever through different means. But social media is so huge. And so if you have you have to be active every day. You have to have short form content. You've got to stay relevant, you know? And so if you have some kid, some teenage daughter who's active on TikTok and tells mom this is what is funny on TikTok right now, she's gonna tell her mom, and that's how I end up as we
social media guru.
We had when Taylor Swift dropped her album last year.
Oh God,
can't
get away from her.
Life of a
Showgirl.
Showgirl. Thank you so much. I did know that. I was 3 seconds away from saying it out loud. Life of a Showgirl. Because my boss and her daughter are active Taylor Swift fans, and they know what's popular, and like the trend was to do the Life of a Showgirl type thing. Like that's the content we created, and that, you know, it got to be Life of a Bartender, and it was me, you know. But that's how you stay relevant and active, and how you advertise your brewery. And like the beer is the most important, but as far as advertising go, it comes second almost. And so like, yeah, you know, social media is huge. You have to stay active on it. You have to be on all of them, because, you know, I might use Instagram more than anybody, but one of you three might be super into Facebook. Somebody might be super one of you might still have a MySpace page. If you're active on everything, you're reaching anybody on social media. And
I'm still on AOL.
So the breweries have to be active on AOL and AIM to reach you too. And it's huge. It's how you advertise, it's how you stay connected. People comment, people interact, they share it, and it's as important.
Honestly,
it's a game I hate to play, but it's a necessary evil.
Yeah.
You know, and we try to get stuff out there all the time, and it doesn't happen all the time because, you know, we've all got day jobs. We're all not of that generation, and you know, it's it gets a little, you know, I don't know. Anyway, but you know what I've noticed is that if we do anything that's too long, we can't keep their attention. If we do something that's meaningful, we may get a few views, a few likes, whatever. You do the dumbest shit possible on the face of the earth, and everybody loses their damn mind. My son put up a little short, and he's 12, puts up some little short on YouTube of a computer generated video game, God knows what, fish making some weird sound, and he's got like 1,200 views in the first hour.
What the fuck, dude? What are we doing?
No shit. That's what I'm saying. It's like you got to do like the dumbest thing possible. Like, you know, so trying to find that balance has been interesting.
You know, we do stuff. We post all the time. We're talking. We tag each other. We're here. We're there. We're drinking this. We're drinking
live videos. Yeah, where we're at. Where we're drinking.
Every social media platform, every streaming service, and I think that our most popular and our most famous video is me and Ed eating dog treats, like from Six Pack Brewing. Like Mark Pappy, like we were at the Ocean State Brewers Fest, and Mark Pappy's like, "Oh, did you try the dog treats yet?" And we were like, "What? What? Like it's a dog treat." It's like, dude, it's just spent grains from.
I believe I said no. Are we supposed to?
An egg. So you know, we were hungover the next day from the Brewers Fest.
Well, we told them we would do it,
and we, you know, you can't double dog dare us and expect us not to do it. So he dared us to do it, and we were here the dog hungover, so we cracked open beers and we dipped in the dog treats like Oreos and we ate them. and that was like 1,400 views.
It's
just
still on the
on
YouTube
that
channel,
one
folks.
video.
If you want to see it, we did it again with but with Black Pond. We
Black Pond, we did it again.
Yeah,
we actually
It's
got
like,
him
if you
involved
do
with that
something
one.
like something that's like ridiculous and out of this world, people want to like watch it and share it and watch it over and over again. But if you
So
do something
maybe
serious or whatever that has meaning, they're like,
maybe
I'm
if we
not
have
like,
Buddy doing the wheelbarrow with you across your yard and then you falling down into the dirt and then drinking a beer, maybe that'll catch on or something. I don't know.
right.
yeah, right. Well, naked, yeah, sure, no problem.
This guy.
No,
naked
please, not naked. Please.
in a wheelbarrow.
Not again. Not again.
That's a weird wheelbarrow. You'll be holding my legs, dude.
Head chopping wood in the middle of the woods.
Shut up.
All on 3 days.
Fingers still never healed, right?
Philips McKenzie. Here we go.
Anyway. Oh, it's one of those
All
things.
right, guys. Wrapping up. Do we have any last questions? Any last queries for our guests this evening, Costas?
Listen, I could say
I got to get the Jeopardy theme on
You
here.
could sit here and talk for like 4 hours straight. But,
Yeah.
I mean, you know,
Uh-oh. I have one last question. What'd you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
open?
This is derivative Citra.
let
I
me ask
have.
you-
Well, what did you drinking? What is
Yeah. So this is what I'm opening now, and this is what I just had.
Tendril.
Tendril. I thought I was gonna finish with the Tendril, but I drank it so fast. I'm like, I'm gonna have another beer before the night's over, so I might as well open it now. But I have a Citra nearby, so I'm gonna drink that, and then we'll see where the beer night takes me. But this is what I'm gonna be having for now.
Oh, bueno.
Beautiful.
Nice.
One of my favorite beers of all time from Proclamation, other than the Unicorn, Nick, was the Process Progress. That was probably long before your time because they cut that
without
off
a doubt.
But I when I first got pulled into Proclamation, they had just opened that beautiful new brewery, and Dave was like, he was like the man at the beer show. He's like
The man, the myth, the legend.
he was an amazing guy. Proclamation served as like many of my first. It was my first beer, my first podcast.
His first kiss.
To my first kiss. My first podcast ever. I cheered to Dave Whittam, who had just passed away, and all the amazing things that Proclamation does. So they've been a part of my life for a number of years, and it's just, it's great having you on here. Great to be able to talk to you, a Proclamation alumnus, if you will. So thanks for joining us today,
guys. This was so much fun. Thanks for having me.
Anytime, man.
You more. Are you going to another brewery? Are you brewing? What are you doing?
I just last week I just accepted. So the Guild Brewery is opening 2 new locations. Plainville, Mass, and Providence, Rhode Island. And
Plainville's gorgeous.
As of Friday, I accepted the role. I will be their bar manager in Providence. So
nice, congratulations!
Thank you.
We're going to be there and drinking beers and drinking.
I was holding on to that until today. I was as far as making it public.
Exclusive right here.
We're gonna have to go
guys
down
get the
and
exclusive announcement. I'm gonna be bar manager for the Guild Brewery in Providence.
That's amazing.
And I can't begin to tell you how excited I am to get back into it. I love beer so much. To be in the industry means so much to me.
Guild, dude, it's one of the biggest brewers here in America.
Yeah,
so, I mean,
they've got
here in Rhode Island. It's a beautiful thing.
To go from Proclamation, that was such a staple in like the creation of the craft beer industry in the state, to the Guild that is, they've got multiple locations and they do a lot of contract brewing and they've got a great following. Like I don't know how the hell I ended up this lucky, but I somehow am, and I'm not going to question it, and I'm going to ride this train until it crashes. But
skill and talent, right?
Yeah. So I think I'm going to be in Plainville, Mass next week setting up like the point of service system. I'll be in Providence the week after, helping them get set up. I assume it's all very fresh, and I'm doing all this on the fly right now. But I cannot express how excited I am. A few of my Proclamation coworkers are also joining the guild as well in various different positions. So like, it's like, it's like rejoining, like me and a couple of family members are joining a new family. It's
all beer fam that will get to see another. Yeah.
I'm so excited for it. So it was
definitely hit us up and message us and let us know when you guys are when you're rocking it down there, and we'll have to come down and
do a live show.
Do some live stuff.
If it comes to me if you guys don't find out before me, like by all means, I'm gonna tell you when it's all going down and when we're officially open. But yeah, for sure. Once things are up and running and we've got some things to talk about, like I'd love to do this again. This was so much fun.
Hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
Anytime.
And folks,
anytime, Nick. Just so you know, pick your brain about beer, pick your brain about proc, and everything in between. It's been a great time, dude. I thank you for coming on.
No, thanks for having me, everyone. I appreciate it. Before we hang this up, when you were introducing the podcast, I saw the introduction, and Ed, I saw you had a little selfie with Chip from Rhode Island FC. If you
RIFC,
you couldn't tell, I'm a big fan.
Yes.
If it wasn't the beginning of summer, I'd have my RIFC sweatshirt on. I just needed to let you know how much I loved seeing that before coming on, and I was not gonna let us hang up before telling you that I also have a selfie with Chip, and I appreciated seeing that. So
nice. Yeah, I've got my inaugural game banner from the new stadium hanging up right over here in front of me, and
I got my scarf hanging in my bedroom. So
there you go.
Yep.
Well, thanks, Nick. I mean, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Just one more question from our audience.
Oh, listen, I got
Luann's coming in.
Read it across the.
Luann. Hi, Luann.
The location going to be in Providence?
It's going to be right off the pedestrian bridge, right on Dyer Street. So do with that what you will. It's going to be in a very walkable location. We're expecting to have. I'm hoping we're going to be open before the World Cup, as the last minute and a half of this conversation didn't express how much I love soccer.
Bring it on in.
I would love to, just be open for that, because I know there's going to be a lot of fans walking around the city trying to find places to be, to drink while they watch games. I would love to be a place where I got hundreds of soccer hooligans walking around drinking beer and cheering on their team. I love unbiased sports competition. If you have England versus Ghana, I want fans of both teams in there hooting and hollering, having the best time. So that's Luann. That's where we're going to be. Dyer Street, right off the pedestrian bridge. I'm hoping to be open in a couple of weeks. And
we'll be down. We'll be definitely down.
We will be
definitely
there.
Keep our eyes open.
For sure.
All right, gentlemen. Join us. In 2 weeks. You can check the lake. You can check the shore. But we'll be here drinking beers with Charlie Moore. Charlie Moore, the 18-time Emmy Award-winning Mad Fisherman of Nesson, is going to join us here on the show. We're going to drink beers. We're going to talk about. I'm going to talk about fishing with Charlie Moore. Oh my God. Join us for that and much more. Was for the doctor. He's not an ass doctor, but he's a doctor. Head bat on. For across the thing, he's been buddies there. Thank you, Nick Boyd. Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
Thanks for having me.
Cheers. Peace out. Go Red Sox.